The story will begin with a young boy named Jun living in an orphanage. Jun hasn't had parents since he was born. He likes to draw because he thinks it will make him happy and help him forget about his sadness. Jun has an amazing talent for drawing, but he also has great fighting skills. This is because he got his late father's physical toughness as a national taekwondo athlete. One day, a man named Duk Yu, or Duk, came to the orphanage to meet Jun. He was interested in how good Jun was at fighting at such a young age. Duk is a member of the National Intelligence Service, or NIS for short. He wants to sign him up to become a secret agent and train him. Then, Duk went up to Jun and tried to get him to come with him. The National Intelligence Service then made sure Jun got the training he needed. As he gets older, Jun becomes an elite assassin and one of the best agents. But Jun still likes to draw so much that he does it in his spare time while doing his homework. He always took the time to draw, no matter where or when. One day, Jun gets a job to catch Seaman, who is on the run. The brother and right-hand man of Jason is a crime boss who has killed many people. After Seaman was caught and questioned, the NIS found out that Jason was on a ship about to leave Busan. Soon, a young NIS recruit named Cheol, who was very smart and skilled, came to see Jun and Duke to find out important details about the interrogation. But just as he was about to question Seaman more, Predu died. Duke immediately gave Jun the order to kill Jason. On their way there by helicopter, they are suddenly caught in a raging storm, making Jun's freefall difficult. When Jun finally gets to the planned coordinates, he jumps out of the helicopter, but his parachute doesn't work right, so he falls into the sea. After Jun was pronounced dead from the accident, Duke and the rest of the team gathered around his coffin to pay their last respects. But it turns out that Jun survived the accident and faked his death on purpose so that he could follow his dream of becoming a comic writer or artist. Since then, 15 years have passed, and Jun is now living out his dreams by writing and drawing comics. So far, things haven't turned out the way he thought they would. Jun has to work hard because his editor has given him a deadline, and people who don't like his comics insult him. Not only that, Jun's wife, Mina, often scolds him because, in Mina's eyes, Jun can't be trusted as the head of the family, so Mina has to work hard to help pay for their family's needs. Despite this, Mina never complained and continued to accompany Jun. Gae-young is the daughter of Jun and Mina. Jun, who is unemployed, ends up taking over from his wife, caring for the house and their daughter. Then, Jun gets a call from his editor, who tells him that he needs to finish his comic. Despite the fact that few people are interested in reading it, Jun, who was stuck in a writing rut, tried to get more time from his editor. But the editor said no and hung up right away. Jun seems to work as a construction worker to help pay for their family, as well as writing and drawing comics. But his wife and daughter know how he feels about his work. Later that night, Jun decides to have a few drinks while complaining that things aren't going his way. When he saw that some of the readers' comments were bad about his own work, he got mad that everyone was making fun of him. He then told the story of his life as a secret agent, which made him angry. The next morning, when Jun woke up, he was surprised by how kind and gentle his wife was. Mina then tells Jun that she really likes the new story she wrote last night and posted online without him knowing it. Mina says that people who have read the story also like it a lot. Jun was shocked and scared because he had never meant for the story to be published. After all, it has a lot of secrets about his life and work in the past. It also has a lot of secrets about the government that shouldn't be made public. Jun runs to his editor and tells him to take back what he wrote. But unfortunately, the editor says no because readers really like Jun's comics and because he has benefited from the sharp rise in positive comments from readers. Jun finally walks home with a shaky step because he was turned down and told to keep working. He was going to get his daughter from school, but saw that it was going to rain. When Jun got to school, he waited there. And when Jae-young's friend got picked up by his rich parents in a fancy car, he felt like a loser. Jae-young would rather go home with her friends than with her father. This makes Jun sad when he looks at his daughter. Jun finally goes home, and he feels bad that he wasn't a good father to his daughter. This made him want to keep working and write a more detailed account of his time as a secret agent, including the time he fought Jason and his men. In a short amount of time, Jun's comics have gone viral on reader forums and are liked by many people, including Gae-young's classmates, the foreman at the construction site where Jun works, and the editor. Jun and his family's lives frequently improve. The family's finances started to get better, And June was even able to make his daughter happy by giving her something he had been wanting for a long time. Meanwhile, Joan's old boss, Duke, went to an internet cafe to look into a case. Then two boys come up to Duke and tell him about a secret group within the NIS that is involved in all of June's missions. Then Duke asked the two boys, where did they learn that? How surprised he was when he read the online comic that June had made. The story and the names of the people in it were the same as what had happened. Duke called a meeting with NIS officials right away to talk about everything because the comic was seen as a big threat to their position. After all, it reveals a top-level national secret about the secret organization NIS, which recruits minors to teach and train them to be cold-blooded assassin top agent, and some of the cruel ways they use to get information out of people. So, as soon as June's death was confirmed by the NIS, the group was dissolved. Duke and other officials are afraid and worried that the stories in the comics will make people hate the government. They also thought June might still be alive because they hadn't found his body yet. Then, they figured out that June was the mastermind behind everything because he had been a NIS best agent before and could draw well. The head of the NIS, a man named Hyung-do, then tells his whole team to arrest June and labels him a state traitor. The NIS agent then goes to the office of the author to talk to June's editor and find out where June is. The editor says that June is working part-time at a construction site right now. June, who is at the construction site, sees that NIS agents are coming and tries to get away. But the NIS agents were able to free him, and they fought very hard. After beating the NIS agents who were after him, June called his wife in a panic and told her they had to leave the house right away. Mina doesn't know what's going on, so she says she won't go and hangs up. Not long after that, NIS agents broke into June's house, which was led by Cheol, a former junior at NIS. They were able to knock June out and take him away. Elsewhere, Jason and his men go to June's editor's office and force him to reveal June's home address because June has made Jason look so bad in his comics. Hyung-do asks June about the comic at NIS's main office, and June says that he wrote it by accident while he was drunk and that it had nothing to do with anything. Hyung-do, on the other hand, doesn't believe him and still thinks he's a traitor. Then, June's wife, who is being held hostage by Jason and his men, calls him. Then Jason asks June to bring Duke to him because Duke was the one who caught Seaman and killed him years ago. June had no choice but to do what Jason told him to do to save his wife. When Duke isn't paying attention, he uses a trick to take her hostage. June rushes to get Duke to Jason after locking Hyung-do in the interrogation room and knocking out the other NIS agents. Then, Hyung-do tells all the NIS agents to go look for June. June is a legendary best agent who is called an elite assassin. So Hyung-do gives all NIS agents permission to kill him if they have to. With their cutting-edge technology, the NIS can easily find out where June is and go after him. When Jason finds out that NIS agents are following June, he tells June to take care of them first. June stops to knock out the NIS agents who are chasing him after he goes into the tunnel, and then he runs away. When Jason's hired killer gets there, he kills the NIS agents right away. When Hyung-do gets to the crime scene, he thinks that June killed the agent. In the meantime, June tells Duke that he will be given to someone who wants to get revenge on him for things he has done in the past. June didn't know at first that the person was Jason, but when the editor called him, June and Duke found out that Jason wanted to get revenge for Seaman's death. On the other hand, Hyung-do finds out where Jason is in South Korea and comes to the conclusion that June has been working with Jason. Then, Hyung-do takes June's daughter to make him turn himself in. When June sees that Jason is holding his daughter as a hostage, he begs Jason for more time and decides to save his daughter first. When Mina heard this, she thought June had left her and tried to get away, but she couldn't. So, she drank until she was drunk to get rid of her anger. Keel decides to set Gae-young free and go back to his father because he feels bad for her. But it turns out that everything was a trap set by Cheol to catch June. The two of them then figured out what they had misunderstood, and Duke told Cheol everything until they both agreed to work together to save Mina. The four of them stop for a short time at June's old house. They find that Cheol has been using the house to store weapons and other things he needs for his work. As they are getting ready to leave, they hear sirens in the distance. This means that Hyung-do and his team are on their way to the scene. Then, Cheol offers to trick Hyung-do and the NIS agents into coming to him so he can catch them. Cheol had to be hit, though, so that his disguise would work. so June has to take Jae-young to the battlefield to keep her from being taken away again. On the way, they realized that Cheol still had the bag with the weapons they had made. On the other hand, since Hyang-do knows that Cheol lied, he makes him tell him everything June has planned. Cheol tries to tell Hyang-do everything, but the NIS director still thinks June has betrayed and wants to start a war with the NIS. June and Duk finally get to Jason's house without any weapons. They tell Jae-young to hide in the car while they do Jason's trick, and then send him to Cheol. Cheol tells Hyang-do, so he tells the NIS agents to find out where the person is and rush there. Jason finally showed up and said he wanted revenge because Duk had beaten Seaman so badly that his brother died while being questioned by him. But Duk defends himself by saying that Seaman deserves it because he has killed so many people. A crime boss like Jason doesn't want to hear Duk's defense and is still set on getting his own back. June then changes into Jason and tells him to give him his wife, since he brought Duk as June had asked. Then, his goon Jason picks up a drunk Mina that thinks she is a trained secret agent who is good at martial arts. Jason tells June that he and his wife can't leave until June punishes Duk like he did Seaman years ago. Jason doesn't like how things are going, so he plans to burn Duk's body. But then the NIS troops broke into Jason's base, so they had to start shooting at each other. Hyang-do tells the NIS agents to arrest June after they kill all of Jason's goons. Hyang-do doesn't care that June is trying to defend himself with the help of Duk and Cheol. He still wants to catch June. Then, Hyang-do tells snipers to shoot June, but Cheol puts himself in the way to protect him. When Jason's hired killers show up, they kill the snipers and knock out the NIS agents until things get better. Jason also used this to his advantage by grabbing a gun nearby and shooting June several times. Cheol, who survived the sniper attack, then turns on him for being so stubborn. Just as Duk is dissatisfied with Hyang-do, June, who seems to have survived, gets up and blows up a nearby gas tank to keep Jason and his men from attacking Cheol and the other NIS agents. June tries to save Mina and Jae-young from the chaos and bring them somewhere safe. He then gives Jae-young a bulletproof vest and apologizes to Mina and their daughter for keeping Jae-young's secret agent passed from them. Mina also says she's sorry to June for constantly nagging and scolding him. June then tells Mina and Jae-young to hide while he takes care of the problem. June then goes back to the battlefield and kills all of Jason's helpers. He then faces Jason alone. With his fighting skills, June is finally able to defeat Jason and finish the mission he hasn't been able to finish for 15 years. The movie ends with June, his family, Cheol, and Duk all hanging out and looking happy. June turns down the NIS offer to come back as a secret agent and instead follows his dream of becoming a comic writer and artist.